Happy 60s and 70s day, 12th graders. I've got my tie-dye on and my sweet 70s pony, but for park members only jacket. Your attendance question, your daily journal. What's your worst bug-related story? All right, today we are going to be continuing our research and really locking down and solidifying our issues, our specific and issues that are easily researched and not too broad where they become umbrella topics. We'll talk a little bit about that. I'm going to do the ACT daily tip right away because I forgot to do it again yesterday, so I'll give you a bunch of common comma usage rules. All right, I'll do it right now before I forget. Use commas to separate words and word groups in a simple series of 3 or more. We had coffee, cheese, crackers, and grapes. So make sure you have a comma after each one, including the last one or before the last one. That's called the Oxford comma. A lot of people leave that one out. I always include that. Use a comma to separate 2 adjectives when the adjectives are interchangeable. So if you have back-to-back adjectives describing a noun, it was a vibrant, massive painting. So vibrant and massive are describing the painting. You could also say it was a massive, vibrant painting. When starting a sentence with a dependent clause, use a comma after that. When, so you can tell and identify dependent clauses. Dependent clauses means it can't stand by itself. If you just took the dependent clause, it would not be a complete sentence, and so it's dependent on the other portion of the sentence. When, before, because, if, those are all clues that this is going to be an independent clause. When Jim studied in the library for his chemistry quiz, comma, it was very quiet. Use commas to set off non-essential parts of the sentence. The woman, comma, knowing it was late, comma, hurried home. So we just have a little bit of clarifying information. It's not essential part of the sentence. If we just said the woman hurried home, that's fine. It's a complete sentence. So we just have a little bit of non-essential information. All right, there's your ACT prep for the day. I'll continue in the dark. We have a vocabulary word. I have some information about the ACT. You have to fill out the non-test portion of the test before you come in on October 6th. That's happening this week. I'll give you some details about where and when that happens for which group of students. I'm going to, again, clarify that your issues need to be specific enough to research. Broad umbrella topics such as mental health or the education system. It's going to be really hard to narrow your query searches or your database searches. So I'll show you some examples or one example of what I mean by narrowing and making your research or your issue specific enough to research. And then it's research time. I'm going to talk a little bit about what your works cited page needs to look like, your due dates of when your works cited page is due, when your research is due, and when your marking of the text are due. So we'll talk about the due dates, and then you got time to work on it. Expect work time today, tomorrow, and Thursday, and then Friday, expect to get you kind of roll out the rubric. Got a little more clear picture of what this week's going to look like. All right, your vocab word to help you prepare for the ACT, coming right off an ACT prep website, is voracious. It's an adjective describing a huge appetite, greedy, ravenous, excessively eager for something. I have a voracious appetite to read books. So you can describe it. Doesn't have to be hunger. It could be describing a lot of things. You could be voraciously excited or eager to consume media or the love of your life. You could have a voracious appetite for hugs and kisses, whatever it is. All right, again, but here's some information that everyone needs to know. Virtual, hybrid, and all other students. A-Day students, you're coming in tomorrow, Wednesday. You need to sign up and check out or fill in your non-test info for the ACT. So don't get nervous. It's not pressure. You just need to get kind of check your information. That's make sure that your name and date and all that, your address is correct on your ACT information forms. You have some things to bubble in, some numbers to fill, some letters to fill. You need to go to the cafeteria or lecture hall at 1:45. So at dismissal, stick around, go to the cafeteria lecture hall for you A-Day seniors. B-Day seniors, Thursday. This Thursday. That's this Wednesday, this Thursday at 1:45 in the cafeteria lecture hall. You need to bring a number 2 pencil, an iPad, and any college numbers if you're trying to have your colleges automatically get your ACT scores because you've got your sight on a few. Bring those college numbers. I can get you that information. It can be found on our school website or that school's website as well. VLA students, virtual students, are coming in Friday on your flex day at 12:30. That's after your morning classes with your teachers, also in the cafeteria lecture hall. Don't forget your pencils, iPads, and college numbers if you want them to be automatically sent to your schools. All right. I cannot emphasize enough that your issues must be specific enough to research. We spent a lot of work on this last week. We did it. I talked about it yesterday a little bit. And now I just wanted to give you a very clear example because I've seen this one specifically a lot, mental health. It's one that comes up in all of my classes or all of my 12th grade classes. People were concerned about people living with mental health. It's a top community concern, it would seem. That's too broad, though. You can't just say mental health. There are so many issues surrounding mental health and stakeholders or individuals involved or suffering from mental health or affected by mental health for children of family members living with mental health. So that could be a topic, is children who are raised by families suffering from mental health. How could we support those children better? But mental health itself is too broad. There are a lot of topics about different mental health issues. For example, students facing issues of mental health are not being supported in the public education system. That's very specific. You can find research on that particular topic. If you just start looking and searching for mental health, you're going to get bogged down by figuring out, well, there's this about the education system. There's this about people suffering from mental health in the criminal justice system. There's all sorts of issues. So make sure your issue itself is specific. And that's your tip for the day as you go forth in your research. Due dates. Here they are. This is on your document from yesterday. Go ahead, fill these dates in on yesterday's document so you can keep track on what's coming due. I really need you to finalize your top 5 issues, your specific and researchable issues by the end of the day today. You've got another full day of research. I want your research to be completed. You'll have had 2 full days of research at the end of the day today. So that should be really done by tomorrow. All of your sources need to be downloaded and marked in Notability following the directions in Monday's assignment directions, the directions in Monday's assignment. So make sure you mark all of your sources by Thursday, and then your works cited page should be completed by Friday. For your seniors, I'm not going to spend too much time going over the format. Here's an example of what a hanging indentation and works cited entry might look like. The website I showed you and gave you, you'll have a link to you'll have a link in today's folder for accessing the database that I've recommended. But just as a quick review, your works cited should be in MLA format. That's where the title is in the center, hanging indentations like you see below here, and double spaced. We have typically, though, it's the author's last name, first name, and any other authors involved, alphabetically arranged, the title of the article or research, the publication where the research can be found, the year it was published, and then how you accessed it. So we're using the Gale in Context High School database. So again, that database I put a link live in today's folder. And that's all I've got for you. Go forth. You've got your due dates. Keep yourself on top of this. You are seniors. You have 3 weeks left only of school. 3 weeks. It's a lot. I know it's hard. The seniors, you've got your mind on a lot of things. You've got your futures to think about. Where are you going to school? What are you going to do? What type of work do you want to do? So finish up high school strong. I'm here for you. Let me know if you want help with designing a more specific research topic, and I'll see everybody soon.